Peep llamas and alpacas, this is Livy, your professor of Cupology. Today, I have a real treat for you peeps. Last year, I've introduced a new series called Cuphead Cold Case, and you peeps loved it. As we all know, Cuphead loves to eat, a true foodie. I honestly feel foolish of having a headcanon of him being a vegetarian, mainly because I'm vegetarian, not vegan. It would have limited his food choices. But some peeps wonder, why is this curious Cup so hungry all the time? Well, the answer is actually a big fat, no pun intended, duh! Believe it or not, this Cuphead Cold Case I had done the most research on. No joke. So in today's Cuphead Cold Case, the case of Cuphead's gluttony. Note that I will not be mentioning anything from the Cuphead show leaks. Want to be fair for the fandom. But I will be mentioning a few things from the Annecy Film Festival and the Q&A. Of course, along with the game and the books. If you're new and want to learn all things Cuphead, subscribe and parry that bell so you'll never miss your random dose of Cupology. Anyways, let's wallop. As we learned from our first Cuphead Cold Case, both Cuphead and Mugman are adolescent, which could go from the ages 12 to 18. Surprisingly, this could officially confirm Cuphead's age. According to the article of the New York Times, The Always Hungry Teenage Boy, boys from the ages of 9 to 13 have pretty normal appetite. Same goes to men from ages 31 through 50. In between the ages 13 and 31, boys devour more protein than they should. Hot dogs are a protein. Cuphead loves hot dogs. Mugman doesn't have as big of an appetite as Cuphead, so that strangely confirms it. Cuphead is 14 years old. At this point, the only one who could prove me wrong is Studio MDHR themselves. Mugman's age is still in the air, but I personally think he's 12, but again, that's still in the air. No question that Cuphead doesn't lack in protein. His head is filled with milk, of course. Mentioned in the same article, young teenage boys eat that way to get muscular and athletic. Could we call Cuphead athletic? In some ways, yes. The running and gunning is one thing. Mentioned in Carnival Chaos, Cuphead's dream job is to become a professional baseball player. Whether that's canon for the Cuphead show is still up in the air. Who knows? He could have several dream jobs. I could relate to that. I want to be a singer, rapper, actress, cartoonist, asthma doctor, don't ask, comedian, writer, voice actress, anime creator, robot builder, boxer, owner of a candy company. Oh my god, I ended up being a CupTuber. Alright, back on track. Like I've mentioned earlier, if this is one of the main cases for Cuphead, making him vegetarian would be dumb and inaccurate. Even though vegetarianism has been around for centuries, it is not common for young boys in the 1930s to be a vegetarian. Meat substitutes like tofu, even though it's one of the most ancient foods, hasn't been globally introduced at the time, which kind of leads to what I'm going to talk about next. As history tells, the 1930s was the start of the Great Depression, after a major stock market failure in 1929. Lots of people had no jobs, others got jobs but got paid very little. So getting food was a huge challenge. For some families, even the kids had to get jobs. Most other families only hoped for foods, or soup kitchens and bread lines, which I didn't know existed. Luckily, this dilemma had created a spark. A lot of them put their skills in farming and home baking. As for the others, they started businesses. Food businesses. That's right. Through the whole decade, a new food product was invented, including some favorites of people's like Jell-O's, Bach macaroni and cheese, Spam, Ritz crackers, Krispy Kreme donuts, ooh, yummy, and even chocolate chip cookies, which were actually invented by accident. But that's not what this video is about. So, what does that mean for Cuphead? Surprisingly, he and Mugman are very lucky. Elder Kettle does the cooking and gardening according to the Cuphead books and even the sneak peek of the Cuphead show at Annecy. He seems to be pretty comfortable and have no major issues with money. I may talk about that in a future video, about how he might be the richest man in Inkwell. As for Cuphead, like I've mentioned earlier, a lot of new food products were introduced, and most of it was junk food. Of course, it caught the eyes of the youngsters. This actually went on in the 1940s as well. Food was one of the biggest attractions in Pleasure Island, as seen in the Disney animated movie Pinocchio. Now, here's an interesting catch. That was no accident. In the Annecy sneak peek of the Cuphead show, the directors had mentioned that they were basing Cuphead's personality off of Lampwick. So far, they are spot on, and I'll tell you why. The first part is their voice. They both have this Brooklyn accent.
And I play the role of Cuphead.
Which is what they planned.
What?
Though I feel that Lampwick's accent is thicker than Cuphead's. I don't know, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that the Cup Bros have a Brooklyn accent. I would like to note something quickly. I've been seeing this in my comment section. I never said that I dislike Mugman's voice for the Cuphead show. In fact, I love it. Yes, I was disappointed that Ken and Mugman isn't British, but that's okay. Now, back to your regularly scheduled Cupology. Lampwick is a troublemaker. So is Cuphead. Is Lampwick a glutton? Let's take a look at this scene here. That's a roast turkey. A whole roast turkey. So I would say yes. Pinocchio, can I have some of that pie, please? That looks really good. Can I have some of that pie? I guess I'll make Cuphead the world's worst Thanksgiving dinner guest. So that was the conclusion of this Cuphead cold case, and somewhat opinions. The research for this is like, whoa. I will say I had no idea that a lot of the beloved food products were invented in the 30s. That blew my mind. That's one of the things I love about making these kind of videos. The research that I do in Cuphead's deeper lore and production, plus other things too. What do you think of this conclusion? Do you feel that I've missed something? Feel free to share in the comments section and start a friendly convo. Oh my god, there was a cat right there. Leave a like if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe and parry the bell to hop aboard the alpaca bandwagon for your Cupology classes, and peeps! Follow me at LiveFoxyTartus on Twitter and Twitch, and visit my TeePublic shop, and I'll see you next time. Knockout Bravo!